Danny accepted an oblong, curved platter adorned with impossibly tiny, hand-painted flowers. The artful, black-hearted pansies were dwarfed by still warm squares of generous walnut brownies, stacked like soft bricks in a fragrant monument to her grief. And there was a stew in a fat soup tureen, a lidded porcelain rarity that seemed to glow with the almost heady scent of beef roast and caramelized onions. It was thick and unnatural for a warm May day, and Danny held her breath when she placed it on the counter next to the small army of dinnerware that had begun to amass beneath her painted cabinets. Casseroles and baskets of store-bought fruit and cookies, cups of café au lait with heavy cream and raw sugar, just the way she liked it. If she was really lucky, or if her mom came, the caffeine fix was laced with a shot or two of something stronger. But even the Irish coffee was a waste. People brought things because they didn't know what else to do. Somewhere, below the tingling numbness that trembled against her skin, Danny knew they were trying, and she returned the favor with a reluctant grace, welcoming each well-meaning act of charity with heavy, outstretched arms. She assured every visitor that their gift was perfect, just what she needed, the only thing she could bring herself to taste. How did you know? The truth was, she didn't want their food or their condolences. After they left, she upended the brownies into the garbage can, abandoning the stack of fudgy sweets to the cupboard under the sink, where they made her entire kitchen smell like a confectionery. With a long-handled spoon, she ladled the hot stew into the garbage disposal. Chunks of potatoes and whole baby carrots and bits of barley floated in the sink like putrid autumn confetti, until she flipped the wall switch and ground it into a sludgy paste that oozed down the drain. It was all she could do not to vomit. They were an insult, all those filled plates, those ridiculous portions of food and drink, as if she could eat. As if a chicken broccoli casserole could fill the space where he was supposed to be. Nothing could touch it. No amount of filling could ease the echoing ache of the fissure that had split open her heart, her very life, ripped it straight down the middle so that she knew what it was like to fall to pieces. You didn't fall, not really. It wasn't nearly so dramatic or drawn out. One word or two, just a few, and when the paralysis passed, you looked down and realized that you were bleeding from a wound that would surely never heal. It didn't hurt until you saw the blood, until you realized that you had been torn, and what was taken from you could not be put back, not without leaving a scar. Worse, there would be much more than a scar. She felt deformed. She knew she always would be. Danny didn't want another batch of oatmeal raisin cookies. Or her friends, her sisters, her mother. Not even a funeral could give her closure. And in many ways, she longed for exactly that. For the known. Etsell wasn't dead. He was gone. That, Danny decided, was infinitely worse. They brought small sacrifices to the altar of her mourning, but the only oblation Danny accepted was the one that Benjamin offered. He knocked on her door the day after she got the call, almost exactly 48 hours after Etsell's plane went missing from the tiny airport in Seward, Alaska. Danny was furious at first, because her reclusive neighbor was knocking on her back door, the whitewashed, creaking screen that opened on a little kitchen garden where nothing much deigned to grow. It was her private entrance and her secret escape, the passage through which she quietly ducked when the front doorbell rang with the insistent sound of sympathy that she longed to ignore. But her rage was rash and unfounded. It fizzled out as quickly as it flared, and Danny was left feeling bereft of emotion.